Hey, what is going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. I'm going to be blunt and I'm not going to pull any punches in this particular video because I need for y'all to really listen to what I have to say. And I want you to listen closely when I'm going to point out when I play this audio for you. And I'm going to break this down. And I'm going to be very candid and transparent so everybody can understand where I'm coming from. But this just has to be said. But without further ado, please listen closely. Before I even start talking, giving my commentary, just listen closely and see can you guys catch what's being said in this interview that's being conducted.
Welcome back to First Take. In boxing, oh baby, it doesn't get bigger than this. September 13th, undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez squares off against undefeated WBA junior middleweight champion Terrence Crawford at Allegiant Stadium. It was recently announced that there will be a bonus for the fighter that knocks out his opponent. Now check out these numbers. Terrence Crawford is 41-10 with 31 of his victories coming from knockout, whereas Canelo Alvarez has 63 wins, only 2 losses, 2 draws, and with 39 victories coming from a KO. This fight will be for the Unified Super Middleweight Championship. And with that said, we are thrilled to welcome in the undefeated 4-division superstar Terrence Bud Crawford. Good morning, Terrence. How you feeling?
Good morning. I'm feeling great. I just got done with my morning workout. Just got done eating. Now I'm just relaxing until the next workout.
I don't want to get lost in your diet as an elite athlete, but we'll talk about that later. Let's get to the fight that we want to talk about. You are skipping a weight division to move all the way up to fight the champ at 168. Why is this fight important to you, and what can fans expect in September?
Well, like I said, Canelo is the last fighter in our generation that's a Hall of Famer, that got the biggest name in the sport. So, I chose to go up in weight and to actually try to conquer him from, all his achievements in the division. So why not?
I love that in terms of your aggressiveness and doing something and challenging yourself. Now, let's go back a little bit because you dominated Errol Spence in your last fight. You were able to take that one in a 9th round technical knockout. How much does that fight help you mentally preparing for this one coming up?
Well, I'm not going to just say that fight is the only fight that helped me. All the fights along the way, helped me and prepared me for this moment. Canelo's a very experienced fighter. I have.
Okay. I just wanted to stop it right there. Now, I hope you guys listen closely to that interview. That was Terrence Crawford. He did an interview with Monica McNutt. Boy, so I like her. I think she's really good at what she does pertaining to basketball because she knows the sport of basketball really well. But I could just tell that somebody picked her to do this interview with Terrence Crawford and she was not equipped and ready for an interview like this because she made some crucial mistakes. At the end of the day, this is why they should have kept Max Kellerman because this is his area of expertise, or they should have hired somebody to conduct the interview with Terrence Crawford. Had somebody that was more inclined with boxing. You could tell she doesn't really follow boxing like that. She probably knows who Terrence Crawford is, but at the end of the day, you could tell she wasn't prepped properly because she made a crucial mistake. She said that Terrence Crawford is 41-10. He has 10 losses. She said Terrence Crawford had 10 losses. First, she said he was undefeated when she introduced him. Then she said, when she spoke on him again, she said when she was breaking down the tail of the tape, said he has 10 losses. And then another crucial mistake she made is when she was conducting the interview, she said that Errol Spence was Terrence Crawford's last fight, and he was not Terrence Crawford's last fight. We all know that he fought Madrimov last year, and he defeated him via unanimous decision at, 154. So that's the problem. I don't want to say, her being a woman and all that stuff had anything to do with it, but at the end of the day, they should have had somebody that was more experienced and she botched up that interview. Listen, you can make mistakes when you're talking, sometimes get tangled up in speech. That's fine. Happens all the time. But when you clearly make a mistake like that, an error, and say somebody has 10 losses. Now, Terrence Crawford could have corrected her, which would have made it look even worse and made her look, more uncomfortable. He could have basically humiliated her. But shout out to Terrence Crawford. I think he knew what was up. He didn't want to do that to a black woman. And I understand that. But at the end of the day, they set her up for failure by asking her to do an interview like this. Now, I don't know what's going on with Stephen A. Smith. I don't even watch ESPN. And this is why people get irritated. This is why people get irritated. This is why people that got irritated with sports. Sometimes they just have people in position that shouldn't be in their position. Or they have people doing things that they shouldn't be doing. She shouldn't have been doing the interview with Terrence Crawford because you can tell that she doesn't know anything about boxing. And she botched that interview. She said the man had 10 losses, and that's a big deal. You need to be as accurate as possible. Now, like I said, I can't speak for anybody else, but probably somebody would have said, hey, you made a mistake. I haven't lost. I'm undefeated. They would have instantly made that correction. But, Bud, he spared her. He just went on with the interview and just continued to talk. But if that was me, I might have would have had to correct her. Or who knows, depending on what mood I was in. Or, probably after we concluded the interview, if we didn't have a hot mic, I would have said, I don't have no losses, right? And you made a mistake, and, so on. And, like I said, Terrence Crawford could have created an awkward moment for her. And, a few people was talking about this. I was talking about this with another dude, and he basically said something like, here we go. This is why, like I said, people are turning away from networks and stuff because they have certain people there because of certain things, not because of their qualifications, because they may consider them eye candy or whatever. So like I said before, they should have had somebody better equipped to do that interview. Not saying that it had to be not saying that it had to be a man or whatever, but they should have had somebody that just was more experienced and who knew the sport of boxing and who was more familiar with it than her. Once again, you could tell Monica McNutt doesn't watch boxing or watch a lot of boxing. She probably knew who Terrence Crawford was, and probably she was like, oh yeah. But at the end of the day, you have to also I have to look at the people that prepped her. If she was going to do this interview, they should have did a better job of prepping her. I hope this wasn't something on the fly where basically they told her, hey, in 30 minutes, Terrence Crawford is coming on here, so here's your notes. And you could just tell she was reading stuff. You could tell she was reading notes about him. See, me, I would have been able to do the interview with no effort because, as you guys know, I'm a credentialed media member. I know the sport of boxing. So, I just didn't like that because at the end of the day, I know she wasn't trying to do it on purpose, but she did disrespect Terrence Crawford because basically she got Canelo's resume right for the most part, but she didn't get Terrence Crawford. So it's a lot of ways to look at that. But I'm going to say this. I didn't see Monica McNutt go on other media outlets and she seemed like she cool. But at the end of the day, yeah, that wasn't a good look. So I just wanted to point that out. I'm gonna leave it alone because, like I said, I'm not trying to go in on Monica McNutt because I actually like Monica McNutt. But yeah, they set her up to fail pretty much. Whoever the production team was, but you give Terrence Crawford credit for not making it an awkward moment for her and just conducting the interview as if nothing ever happened. But yeah, to say that the man had 10 losses, she did lightweight. Well, I ain't gonna say lightweight, no pun intended. She did disrespect him. Unintentionally, that is. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. But anyway, I just wanted to speak on that. It's your boy Town Biz. I'm out.